Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Suareezy here, back at you with another Market Mondays. Today we'll be going over what we're seeing inside of crypto this upcoming week and what potential zones we should be looking out for. Alright, so first up we have Bitcoin on the 24-hour time frame, and let's take a look at this last week to see pretty much what we've gone over. And here, if we zoom in, we did get the breakout of the 100%, broke out of that 100% as well, and have still continued the trend. Notice we did have this trend line drawn for the last few months. We did say as long as we're holding above this and above our monthly levels, ideally we're trying to get to our next monthly levels. So right now we're currently seeing a pullback. We did get our touch of the 23,957. Ideally getting a pullback, seeing if we can hold these lows, or if we're going to actually come and get a pullback to our monthly level and ideally to this trend line to see if we can actually still have continuation to come back and retest. So currently we are getting what we are looking for. We got the touch of our monthly level and now looking for a potential pullback. And again, as long as we're staying above this trend line and above this monthly zone, we are in a bullish sentiment, but we are still looking for potential pullbacks. So again, just making sure that you're watching this monthly level down here, 21,708, and watching this trend line as well. If we happen to start to break this trend line, then ideally we go back into consolidation phase. If we happen to pull down to this trend line and actually react off of it, where we get some volume actually coming in, then we could ideally try to come back and retest the last high. If not, ideally we do get back into some consolidation phase. But again, the key level is going to be this monthly level and this monthly level as well. But one of the main things we're looking at for over-under areas for continuation is going to be the trend line. So it's going to be a moving target, but as long as we stay above this trend line, ideally we're still in trend and should be continuing into that vicinity. But again, ideally watching for this pullback, checking for this last low. If we break this last low, ideally I think we do come and get this pullback to 21.7. If not, ideally all we're doing here is holding another small trend for the week, which looks like some accumulation. Again, as long as this level does not break, we are looking to try to run this back up on volume. So again, making sure you're drawing out these levels and watching this area for sure, because this here is some major accumulation for a bigger picture move, whether that's a breakout to the downside or a breakout to the upside. So again, making sure we're watching candlesticks, watching our volume that's actually coming in, and if we actually start getting abnormal volume kicking in, kind of like how we did here, then we could still get potential continuation off of this, even though we are getting this nice little pullback. So that was going to be the breakdown on Bitcoin. Alright, next up we got Ethereum. But before we jump into Ethereum, if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so, as it really helps the channel grow. Also, make sure to turn on those notifications to be notified whenever we drop any new videos. Alright, next up we got Ethereum, and with Ethereum we kind of ended up getting the same move. We broke out of our 100%, then broke out of that 100% as well, and notice we are holding this trend line just like with Bitcoin, just a little more snug. This last week we did end up getting the pullback right to our trend line like we were talking about, and did get the retrace back up to our monthly level, which was 1700 that we've been looking for. So we took the scenic route there, but we finally got that 1700 level, and now essentially getting the pullback as we were looking for as well. So once we got up to that monthly level, we did try to see if we're going to continue holding the trend. As of right now, we are continuing holding this trend, but this level here is going to be very key for Ethereum as we go forward. Actually, this whole formation that we have, it's a nice little triangle formation that we have. So as long as we're holding above this trend line that we've had for a few months, then we are still considered in a bullish sentiment. Even though we can say that we are a bit extended to the upside, we are still in trend until we happen to break this multi-month trend line. then that's when we would go back into some type of consolidation phase for a bigger picture move in the future. So as of right now, there's two levels we're mainly looking at, which is the 1700 level and the 1550 level, which happens to be the last low and the last high of the formation within the last 2 weeks. So here we are looking for two things, either looking for the breakout or looking for the breakdown. And again, what that's going to be premised on is going to be volume. If we happen to see abnormal volume coming in somewhere around these zones, kind of like we are here, we could get continuation of rejection off of our trend line and a continuation back to the upside to see if we can test the 1700 to break it. If we don't happen to get volume coming in, we can see a rejection off of this trend line. And ideally, if you are looking for that short bias, I'd be looking for candle closes beneath this trend line as well, as opposed to just getting the wicks below that, because notice something like this could have stopped you out, even with a beautiful candlestick that had formed right there. I'd be looking for multiple candlesticks to form below this to kind of try to take that back down if the volume does not persist. If the volume persists, then I, again, looking for this pullback, looking for this to be a true support. And if this isn't a true support zone, then again, ideally we are looking for this breakdown of this pattern to at least come back and test the last low. And if we break that last low, ideally what we're looking for is 100% of this move. So if we break that last low, we're ideally trying to take that down to 1420. So ETH is a lot more has a lot more tighter price action than Bitcoin right now, and is hugging monthly levels and trend lines a lot closer than Bitcoin is. So definitely keep an eye on Ethereum and crypto in general, because we are in some very key spots that we are looking for a breakdown or a breakout, or just going back into some type of consolidation phase for a bigger picture breakout move. So that was going to be the breakdown on crypto this week, guys, and I will see you guys on next week's Market Mondays.